What's up guys, Meredith with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we are checking out the BBK Shorty Catted Mid-Pipe fitting all 2009 through 2023 5.7 liter HEMI Challengers with long tube headers. Now if you have purchased or plan on adding BBK long tube headers onto your build for the performance increase in the sound quality, but you need a mid-pipe to allow you to mate up the long tubes to whatever exhaust that you have in mind, this is going to be perfect. Now these are specifically designed for use with BBK long tube headers, part numbers 4046 or 40460, but will allow you to use whatever 3-inch catback exhaust system that you want to add in, allowing your build some options. Now this catted choice will also be for you if you need cats, whether you're in an emission restrictive state or you want to keep the cats on, but want a performance option that's not going to completely break the bank. Now compared to the restrictive factory cats, this mid-pipe will feature two high-flow catalytic converters specifically designed for long tubes to allow the sound and performance while keeping your Challenger up to standard. Now we'll also allow for proper fitment and less headache when it comes time to install the long tubes and whatever catback that you want to add into your build, so you can have some choice when it comes to customizing your exhaust rather than being limited to matching all three parts. Now these are made of a CNC 3-inch mandrel bent aluminized steel tubing, which will be strong and hold up well, especially in drier climates. Now that aluminized coating will help with resisting rust over time, and the 3-inch diameter will allow you to upgrade your exhaust system from these cats back. Now we'll also have welded O2 sensor bungs for a relatively easy swap. And I do want to mention that if you are using the factory 2 3/4-inch catback exhaust system, a small reducer will be required to step down from this 3-inch BBK mid-pipe to the 2 3/4-inch factory catback exhaust, or it can be welded, so just keep that in mind when you're checking this out. Now this will come in at roughly $675, which will make it pretty average for a catted mid-pipe, but more expensive if you're talking about mid-pipes in general. Now you will see that there are ones that are much cheaper in the category, but those are going to be catless choices, which are not going to work for you if you live in an emission restrictive state and want to keep up to standard. Now cats are also pricier because of the materials, but compared to other catted options, this is going to save you a few bucks thanks to the aluminized steel being durable yet less fancy than a higher grade 304. Now if you need cats to make sure your Challenger is up to that standard, but you also want to save a few dollars in the meantime with a well-built system, then this is going to get the job done. Now install will be a little bit more difficult than the average exhaust system, so I am going to give it a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and should take you about 2 hours, give or take, to get the job done. Now speaking of the install, one of our customers has put these on their Challenger and is going to walk you through what the process looks like step by step, whether you're curious or you're doing this install yourself. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and jump into the install.
All right, so the tools that we use for just this BBK mid-pipe installation, didn't take very many for just the mid-pipe. You know, obviously the mid-pipe is being combined with the BBK long tube headers, and obviously there's more tools that are involved with replacing headers. But for the mid-pipe itself, you basically just need a 15 millimeter to unhook the exhaust at the back end of the stock mid-pipe, and then a 16 millimeter deep well to take the nuts off the stud, impact gun, various extensions. The 22 millimeter wrench is for the O2 sensor, ratchet, universal joint. The 10 millimeter there to take the battery, you unhook the battery and hook it back on. But that's basically it for that. All right, here we're under the car, it's jacked up, and we are replacing the mid-pipe here. Pretty easy to take out of the car. Obviously it clamps back here to the Borla exhaust that I already have on here. Obviously there's 2 clamps here that we'll take off. And then up here towards the front where they attach to the exhaust manifold, there's 2 bolts that attach to that. It'll be right here. And then the other one is over here on this side. It might be too dark to see that, but just the two there. And then again, over here on the other side, there's one there, right there. And then the other one is over here on the other side, behind that heat shield right there. So we'll spray that with some penetrating oil and run them out. The other things you have to take off are the O2 sensors that are screwed into the stock cats here. We will reuse these, so we'll unplug these O2 sensors here and probably just leave them in there while we take the mid-pipe out, and then we'll unthread these after they get out of the car. So there's one here on this side, and if I swing over here to this other cat, right there's the other one that we'll unplug. Actually, the plug for that is right here. So we'll disconnect this connection here, and then on this side, looks like it's right, yeah, it's right here. Next, my finger's in the way. Right there is the other one. All right, I went ahead and disconnected the O2 sensor wires. Super easy. There's just a clip right here that a tab that you press down on, and they slide right out. And it was the best ones I've seen so far. I mean, I pressed it and it slid right out, so it was pretty fantastic. So now I'm going to disconnect the muffler clamps back here between the Borla exhaust and the stock mid-pipe. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Piece of cake. The other side here. Set them on that. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen these up as well. Just in case I need to remove this cross pipe. Slide them back. These are back. That's loose there. Now we're gonna go up front and take those off. So the socket size for these back here was 16 millimeter. Again, this is for the Borla exhaust, so I'm not sure what the stock ones were, but these here were 15 millimeter. The ones at the front that connects the mid-pipe to the exhaust manifold, that one there is 16 millimeter. And we'll need some extensions and stuff to get up in there. Let's see, here's a big long one. And we're probably gonna need a little bit of a universal unit tube. Let's take this one out first, see how it works. So I'm coming up in here. Wires out the way. All right, had to go to a bigger impact gun here. When I did that, it comes right out. So there, I got it off. Get that nut out of there. Grab the other one off of it. Heat shield's gonna come down with it here. Hopefully I don't hit you in the face. There, nut comes out. Head over to the other side. Can you get up in there? Right there, I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna have to use the universal on this one. There came out nice. Feel like we're loose. That stud's still stuck in there a minute. Everything is loose though. All right, I got the studs and or the nuts off. On one of these, the stud came out. The other one, the nut came off, and then the half pipe slid down. There was, for some reason, 2 nuts on top of the studs on this side. On the other side, there wasn't, so that was really weird, but was able to back it off, and then it dropped right down. These two pipes are individual, so they're not connected. That's kind of nice. We've already loosened the clamps up here at the back, so it should rotate here. It's dropped out from the front, so we're going to wiggle it out and drop it right on out. Slide that back. Come over here to the other side. All right, so one of the first things we got to do when we work on a car is always disconnect the battery. On the Challenger here, obviously the battery is in the rear of the car, so we're going to open up the trunk lid, and it is an electronic trunk lid, so after we unhook the battery, we want to make sure we keep it open. Otherwise, we'll be able to get back in there and hook it back up. So come on in here. The battery is underneath the compartment here. There's a little tab here that you can lift up. Battery's sitting right here. Should just be a 10 millimeter. Yep, 10 millimeter. We'll loosen the negative. I have to drop the wrench. The negative terminal here. Simple as that. Light goes out. It's good. We'll tuck this back out the way to make sure it doesn't come back and connect. And again, make sure we leave the trunk lid open. All right, I have the stock mid pipes out all together. If you look down here, these are the two stock mid pipes. And I also pulled out the exhaust manifolds up front there as well. These are the new mid pipes that we're putting on right here. These are the Shorties. These only bolt up to the BBK long tube headers that are right here. The part number for these mid pipes is up here. It's part 40461. You guys can see that right there. All right, so when you use the BBK mid pipes and headers, when you relocate the O2 sensors off of the mid pipes back here to the back, the new mid pipes, you may need wire extensions for those harnesses. And the same thing with the front, the O2 sensor off of the stock exhaust manifolds coming over to the long tube headers, which will mount right here. These are wire extensions for those that you might need. And the part numbers for these are right here. This is the front ones, 1118. And this is the box that came with the back ones. It looks like it's 11181 because those are a little bit longer. Now, like I said, I'm also putting long tube headers on there, also by BBK. The number for these is part 4046. These are the 1 3/4 full length headers in the titanium ceramic. All right, so I'm gonna bolt the headers on, and then I'll show you step by step how the BBK mid pipes go on after that. All right, we're ready to install the mid pipes now. You can see at the front, the BBK long tube headers are installed and ready to accept these mid pipes here. On the back side, I told you we have the Borla S-type exhaust. Now, the mid pipe, the back end of it here is a 3-inch outlet, and it goes into a 2.5 on the Borla exhaust. So this is a pet peeve of mine of making the transition between the two. Some people will slide something inside of this mid pipe right here and then weld it. I do not like that. I always like the forward part of your exhaust system should slide inside the rearward part. So I bought these adapters here that will go inside of the Borla exhaust here, just like this. And then the mid pipe down here will slide inside this coupler here. So I got these adapters, got new clamps for everything. We'll get these on here. Everything's started. Everything's the right orientation. All right, let's put the one on the passenger side first. It's sitting right here. Should slip right on. There is a left and right. You can see the O2 sensor is just a little bit off center, so I'm going to put mine pointing up to kind of keep them away from the road. Slip it in here on the back. Slips right in. Swing it up into position to the header. I already put the studs in the BBK header, so we're going to line these up here. These out a little bit so I can get a washers. There's a washer, a lock washer, and a nut that goes on here. So let's get them started. Washer. Washer and a nut. Maybe. You know, let's drill it on there without the lock washer. We can always come back. Washer, lock washer, and a nut. We're gonna leave the lock washer off for now and put the nut on. Let's keep that out the way. I'm sure I can kind of get to both of these. Let me grab my impact driver here. Alright, so let's rotate the mid-pipe up into where we want it. Like it. I got my extensions on my impact gun here. We're just gonna tighten these up a little at a time here. Nice and even. All right, let's get the other side started in there. Again, point the O2 sensor inlet towards the top. We're going to slide her in the back here. Lines right up with the front. Nice. Started there. Grab washer, lock washer, and a nut. Let's see if we can get the lock washers on here. Got started. Washer. Not gonna get that one on there, so we'll just drive it on a little bit with out the lock washer, and we'll come back and put that on after we seat it. This is a 19 millimeter. Looks good. Go back over here and tighten this one up a little more. Now on the back here, we just got to tighten up our clamps to our adapter between the Borla and the new BBK mid-pipes. All right, it's a 15 millimeter for both of these heads here. And just tighten up these clamps. Tighten up a little bit later. Now let's go back and put the lock washers in here. Lock washer, and then my nut. All right. back in. All right, just got to put the lock washer back in on this side. Drive her back home. Finish tightening up these clamps back here with the deep well. Should do it for bolting her up. Now we just need to take the O2 sensors. This one here is the one out of the exhaust manifold on the passenger side. That's going to go up here in the header. And the ones out of the cats on the old header is going to attach right here to these two spots in the new mid-pipes. So let me thread this one here in, and we'll go get the other ones out. And then get the extensions as well. All right, this is the driver's side exhaust manifold. So we're gonna take this off and put it in the header pipe that we put on. I cheated and loosened these up a little bit off camera. Lay that out. Same thing here. This is a 22 millimeter. All right, let's get back under the car and we'll put these in. And then we'll also put those extensions on there if we need them, which I'm pretty sure we do. So get them into the car again. All right, so this is the front driver's side O2 sensor. Let's screw it into the header right here. Just snug for now. There's the passenger side mid-pipe sensor. It'll go in right here. Throw that in. And passenger mid-pipe. A 22 millimeter. This one here's going in a little snug. Let's put some extensions in. Give me the long ones there. The long ones are labeled for the rear, and these should plug right in here, just like that. We're going to route them up above this cross brace for the transmission, and it's going to plug back into where the original one plugged, which is right here. Right. And then we'll take some zip ties and zip tie these up out the way. Make sure it doesn't lay up against the header. Same thing for the other side, right here. Plug it in. route it up above this cross brace. Out the way. Let's see where that one there is at. It's right here. You guys can see it right there. Let me see if I can maybe get rid of some of this. Going up through this wire loom like this and drape it back down. Plugs right in. Nice. Just like that. Again, we'll take some zip ties and zip tie these up out the way. And that should take care of that. All right, they'll give me the front ones there. We'll plug these into this thing here. And this plugs in way up in here. In the same spot where you took the front ones off. It'll be tough to see, but you'll know where it goes. It's the same spot. Get the click. Good deal. Again, we'll get some zip ties and zip tie these up out the way. And then the same thing on this side. Plug that in. Route it through here, kind of out the way. And where is this one? All the way up here. Yep, right there. Thread the snap. And again, I'll get some zip ties for that too, to pull that away from the exhaust header. And that's it. She's all hooked together, ready to go. Let me go get some zip ties and I'll do that real quick, and then we'll do a cold start up with this new system.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of the BBK Shorty Catted Mid-Pipe, fitting all 2009 through 2023 5.7 liter HEMI Challengers with long tube headers, and you can find this set right here at AmericanMuscle.com.